Director Ang Lee's Gemini Man has been screened for critics, and it blew their faces right off. Just when you thought movie magic had reached its pinnacle, critics are calling it a new landmark in visual effects. Based on the movie's plot about a hired killer who's stalked by a younger clone of himself, observers have been quick to draw comparisons between Gemini Man and another recent flick, the name of which escapes us. Just kidding. It's Rian Johnson's 2012 film Looper, which sports a similar premise. But Gemini Man has actually been in development for over 20 years. The first script for the film was completed in 1997, and at that time, it was to be directed by the late Top Gun director Tony Scott. Originally, the idea was to have different actors play the older and younger versions of the main character, like they did in Looper. But once producers decided to have the same actor play both parts, the wait for technology to catch up began. Well, that technology is finally here, and director Ang Lee goes hog wild, using cutting-edge motion capture technology to render the younger version of Smith.
I play both 50-year-old Henry and 23-year-old Junior, who's sent to kill him.
And Lee also shot the film at 120 frames per second rather than the typical 24 in order to give it a sense of visceral realism. The result, according to virtually every critic who has been lucky enough to feast their eyes on the movie, is nothing short of mind-blowing. Common thread among their remarks: this is the first film in years that you will definitely, absolutely, positively have to see in 3D. Engadget editor Devindra Hardawar positively gushed over the film in a series of tweets, vibrating from excitement after seeing Gemini Man. It uses 120 FPS and 3D to create some of the most exciting action sequences I've seen in years. Happy to see Ang Lee return to action. The choreography feels intense because it looks so realistic. He added, "The script is a bit generic, but I think the visuals and Smith's performance overcomes it. In terms of groundbreaking visual experiments, this feels as important as Avatar." That's a very bold statement, but other critics agree that Gemini Man is arguably the first film since Avatar that requires you to see it in 3D to really get the full experience. Sci-Fi feature editor Jordan ZAKARIN said, "Just saw the final cut of Ang Lee's Gemini Man, and it's probably the only movie I'd ever say must be seen in 3D, and 4K if possible. I've never seen anything like it. It felt like I was inside the movie." The sentiment was echoed by Refinery29 senior editor Ann Cohen, who wrote, "Just saw Gemini Man and it's wild. The young version of Will Smith is incredible. Plus some truly beautiful action sequences and a really great performance by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The only 3D movie I'll ever endorse." Fandango managing editor Eric Davis agreed that it needed to be seen in 3D and also highlighted how much detail went into making the film. There's one scene in Gemini Man where old Smith and young Smith have an all-out brawl with each other. It's pretty amazing to watch. I asked Ang Lee how they executed that sequence, and he said it was so involved it took 9 months to complete. 9 months for a fight scene. Meanwhile, Yahoo Entertainment senior writer Ethan Alter focused on the film's groundbreaking use of a super high frame rate. Even high frame rate skeptics may be converted by what Ang Lee pulls off in Gemini Man. While it's not seamless, it's probably the strongest argument for HFR photography I've seen, and the illusion actually gets better as the movie goes along. The love fest was perhaps summed up best by ComingSoon.net senior editor Max Irving. Ang Lee's Gemini Man is a huge breakthrough for 120 FPS presentation. Action sequences are breathtaking in this format. Will Smith's winning performance shows the level of scrutiny a real movie star can stand up to. If you don't see it in theaters, you're missing a true experience.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
All the praise on the film's technical details is fantastic, but it's Collider's Vinnie Mancuso who really cuts to the chase and tells you what you truly need to know. In Gemini Man, the young Will Smith throws out not one, but 2 motorcycles at the old Will Smith, and that to me is very good. Highly recommend. Okay, we're sold. We'll see you in line when Gemini Man hits the big screen on October 11th. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite films are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.